This will be a short PowerPoint video, I promise. What we'll be talking about is the first colonization of Australia. So the first people that get there and set up their living. These people are called the Aborigines. Quick preview, we're going to talk about how many people lived there by about 1400 and the three main theories that the original people, how they got there. If we look at Australia today, this is a Google Earth image. You don't see a lot of green. Large part of Australia is desert. And in that desert, there are not that many people. Not that many cities. And even in the green areas, the cities aren't as big as in Europe. I believe all of Australia has about the same amount of people as New York City. So today, Australia is pretty much not that many people. But before the Europeans arrived, this is what Australia looks like. At this time, there are 250 different tribes of Aborigines. Each one with a slightly different culture, language maybe, religious practices, gods, whatever. Some of these tribes had large territory, some had small territory. We're not sure exactly how many people there were. Some people will say, well, there's maybe 200,000 people. Some people will say, oh, there's 1 million people. Others will say 10 million, 100 million, 200 million. Truth is, we don't know. A safe, low estimate that a lot of people will agree on is at least 1 million people spread out through Australia. And these people first arrive over 40,000 years ago. The question becomes, how did they get there? If you look at Australia, there's a lot of ocean around it. But if you look real closely, it almost looks like there might have been land that connected Australia into Asia. And in fact, this is the main theory, is that 40,000 years ago, the ocean levels were lower, which means there was more land above water, and that this area in the circle was actually connected back then. The Australians, all they had to do was walk. The second theory involves boats. People who like this theory, and it was pretty popular in the late 90s with a group of people, is that the Aborigines had walked maybe into Indonesia. But from there, they had rafts. And they used these rafts to go back and forth between Australia and wherever they were coming from for centuries, going back and forth and back and forth. Some people staying in Australia, some not. And through this slow process, it became colonized. There's a third theory that was actually popular for a long, long time by the Europeans who got there. This theory was that, the Aborigines weren't smart enough to get here on purpose, and they haven't been here all that long. So here's what must have happened. Some people were on a boat, maybe a fishing boat. Storm comes. They get lost at sea. They wind up on Australia, and this small group of people end up leading to the Aborigines. They have babies, their babies have babies, and before you know it, we got all these Aborigines in Australia. This theory is incredibly stupid, as a lot of early European theories on indigenous people were quite stupid. But these are our three main theories. In my class, the biggest theory we're going to go with is the walking theory. And that's it.